live now. I want you to mute. I want you to stop what you are doing. Let's continue the class.
Okay. Um,
So I
let
want
me
you to
just take this antivirus notice.
okay. I want you to give us this summary of what we learned on our last class.
Okay. Let me explain this. Okay. During our last class, we looked at class in Python, and we said a class in Python is a blueprint that we can use to create objects. Then it's in class, class puts together data and function that operates on that data into a single unit. And it's enabling the creation of reusable and organized code. We also talk about almost everything in Python is an object with its properties and methods. Then we move on to how to create a class. Then we said to create a class, we use the keyword class. From there, we looked at some class example, how to create a class using some example. Then we talked about how to create an object creation. We said to create an object, we can use the class name, like my class, to create the object. Then to understand the meaning of class, we have to understand the built-in function. Wherein the built-in function is the underscore init underscore open and close bracket function. Then we said all class have a function and it is called the underscore init underscore open and close bracket, which is always being executed when the class is being initiated. Then we move to the other function of the underscore str underscore open and close bracket function. So when the function represented as a string, yeah, we can have this function when the function is being represented as a string. Then the underscores str underscore open and close brackets, this controls what should be returned in a situation where the function being represented as a string. Then we move on and say if the string function, which is underscore str underscore open and close brackets function, is not set, then the string representation of the object is returned. Then we said objects can also contain methods. And methods in objects are functions that belong to the object. Then we move to a subtopic under the class of the self parameter. We said the self parameter is kind of a reference to the current instance of the class, and is used to access variable that belongs to the class. Then we looked at some self parameter. Then we said the self parameter does not have to be named self. You can call it whatever you like, but it has to be the first parameter of the function in a class. Then we looked at object deletion, how to delete an object. We said object deletion, you can delete objects by using the del keyword, which is del keyword. Then we also looked at the pass statement. Okay, from the object deletion, we looked at some examples, and we also talked about the delete the pass statement. The pass statement, we said class definition cannot be empty under the pass statement. But if it happens so, or if it's been empty, we have to put in the pass statement to avoid getting an error. Then we looked at some related examples. Then we moved to you gave me an introduction on what next we should be expecting, which is a Python inheritance. And we said Python inheritance allows us to define a class that inherits all the methods and properties from another class. Then from there, we have types of class, which are like the parent class, the child class, which is just similar as to that of the sets, wherein like we have the subsets, the universal sets, wherein like the parent class like give birth to the child class. So I think that was the topic that you said we'll be looking on today. And so far and so forth, I think that's where we stopped at the last class.
Okay, and that was the last class, uh, last topics. So
Yeah.
we are continuing from the last topic, which is class. And I told you that I will be introducing you to parent class and class,
Yeah.
right?
Yes, sir.
Now, okay, before we continue, before we continue, I want us to get a brief summary of what we are going to learn now. Okay, so I
Okay.
want to recap what I said inheritance is. Okay, inheritance is a powerful feature in object-oriented programming language. Inheritance provide code reusable in the program because because okay because we cannot use an existing class. We, superclass, parent class, base class to create a new class or subclass like the child class or derived class instead of creating it from scratch. Let me recap again. I say inheritance provide code reusable in the program because we cannot use an existing class such as let's say superclass, parent class, base class to create a new class which is a subclass and or child class. or derived class instead of creating it from scratch. Remember, so always remember what I just explained now. And also, the child class inherits data, define or definition and method from the parent class, inherits it. So everything concerning the parent class, the child class inherits it. Okay,
Okay.
from the parent class, which facilitates the reuse of features already available from the parent class. Okay, the child class add new or more definition to redefine a class method. Okay, so when we are working with the child and parent class, the parent class, the child class can collect everything the parent class have and also redefine it by adding its own future. Inheritance come into the picture when a new class possesses a relationship between an existing class. When it have a relationship between an existing class, okay. Um, for example, let's say student is a person, right?
Yeah.
And a base class is the student. And also, well, let's work on an example and see what I just explained. Okay, so
Okay.
I'm going to create a class called person and the person information. Okay,
Okay.
so we are going to say class. So remember, we use class to define a class, right?
Yeah.
So we are going to name it person. We are going to name it person, and we are going to define the function called def, and we are going to initialize it. We are going to initialize it, which we are going to use the init, and we are going to pass in the self. We are going to pass in the self. Remember that whenever we are creating initializing, we must pass the self, and we must always work with the self. The self come first. Okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
and gender. So this is the data we are using. So we are passing the parameter, this name, age. This is a parent class. So let me name it as a parent class so that you will not get confused. Parent, the person class or the parent class. Sorry, the parent class. Okay, parent class, not person class. Okay, parent class. Okay, and now we are going to call the self dot no name equal to name. That's a variable. Call this variable self dot age equal to age. We are going to call, well, we are going to call the self again. We are going to call the self again, self dot gender equal to gender. And so this is all we are calling. And Remember, our indentation, we have to make sure that we indent very well. So, so I want to move it so that it will be indented very well. So, so now we are going to create a person information. The person information, and so we are going to create a person information. We are going to call this a def. Okay,
Okay.
and we are going to name it person info info, and we are going to pass in self. Remember, we are going to pass in self. So now we are going to print. Let's use a print. Let's print out name name and column. It's okay. And okay, let me see. I want to use the f string, okay, to write this. And please
Okay.
don't be confused. So we are going to pass in the name. Okay, and okay, it's not coming out. Wash though. Coming. Okay, good. What about my error? I'm still having error. Okay, let me copy this. I'm coming. Okay. Mm, it's not giving me what I want. See, this is indicating an error. Okay. Now I have to call self.name. Okay. So let me copy this, not name alone. So now I'm going to copy this. I'm calling I'll call the age, then age. So I'm going to call the gender. So I'm just pasting what I have already created before. Okay. So now this is we have created the information of the person. Now we are going to create a student, which is a child class. Now I want to create a child class. So I'll run this. I'm coming. So where's my error? I'm having an error. So I want to see
Okay.
was okay. Now I did not put column. and column, so I can run it. And so this is my parent class.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I want to look for the charge class, which the charge class is the student. So I'm working with the parent and the student information, which will be the charge class. Okay,
Okay.
to say students, and I'm going to pass in the parent class, which is
Person.
person. Remember,
Yeah.
inherit inherit the parent class. Look at it. I'm passing everything concerning the parent class. Okay,
Yeah.
that's why I declared a class called student, which I are passing the person details, because the class I named was person. Look at it, person. So I have to pass it here. Okay. So
Okay.
I hope that is clear to you. So I will name this um, to child class, and I hope that's good.
Yeah.
So we are going to call our init, and so let me copy this. I want to call our init, and we are going to call the name, age, gender, and student ID. Yeah, student, because we are dealing on student. We are dealing with student. So student ID. So then fees. Um, I'll copy the fees because I'll use fees. Now, look at this. I just included student ID and student fees. Remember, I've already created the name, age, and also we just um, inherit the property. So it's just the student ID and fees I will include. So
Yeah.
which I'm going to call it self dot. I'm going to say student ID, student ID. Did you see what I'm doing?
Yeah.
So there's no need for the age, name, and gender, because I've already inherited all the properties of it. I hope you understand.
Yeah. I'm getting you.
So I'm going to call the fees. So I'm going to say self dot fees is equal to fees. It's equal to fees, and now we are going to work on student information, student info, and student. We are going to name it student info. Here we were using person's info. So I'm going to copy here, and I will rename it. Control Z. So I'm going to use the person info. So and here will be student info. Let me copy this. I'll paste it here. Then I only need the student ID, Okay, I'm going to write a student ID. Let me just copy this. So please, I want you to pay attention and concentrate on what we are doing. Student ID, and so um, I'm checking out if we have an error. Okay, student ID. Now we are going to look for fees. Yeah, fees. We are going to look for fees. And I'll copy this. Let me copy this. Let me paste it here. So we have created the info of students. So then, and I think, okay, um, okay, now let's see what we have created so far. What we have created so far. And we are just going to focus on the students and the student info. We are going to focus on the student and student info. Okay,
Okay.
so let's print out the students. So let's see this. So now we are going to declare a variable called student std. Okay, we are going to assign it to student. We are going to call the student here, which is this. Students, and we are going to pass in the parameters, which is the students should be what the student should be okay, and the student should have a name, right?
Yeah. Should have age. Should have gender.
Yeah, we are going to pass in name, let's say Abu, comma. We are going to pass in.
Yeah. Should have an age.
We are going to pass in age 34, comma. Let's pass in
A gender for the student.
gender. Let's say male.
Yeah.
Male. So let's pass in student ID. Let's say CM Tech. CM Tech. So this is student ID. And let's say fees. We are going to call the fees like this. So now we have created this, and we are going to close it with brackets. Then, since we have passed in the parameter, and okay, now we are going to
Okay.
we are going to do it like this. We are going to.
The thing I wanna ask.
Hello.
Yeah. Okay, why are these not let me see.
included.
Okay.
Why the names are not included on it?
No, why the name the numbers are being written different from that of the letters. Like here the name Abu, you
Yeah.
give it.
Yes, yes. Remember we talk his class, right? And we
Yeah,
said the class can be used reusable, right?
yeah,
Reusable. So since we have created this class, we can call it, if we are running multiple lines of code, we can call it anytime, anywhere. As far we have already created the class, that's why we did not include their
quote.
names
No,
directly.
the thing I was asking, why the numbers are not quoted?
Okay, numbers.
Yeah.
See, in Python recognize text as string, right?
Okay. Okay.
Number stands on the, you don't need to put a quote
Okay.
attached to them.
Okay.
Okay,
Just let me ask. Yeah.
okay. So we we are trying to create it so that it will look more presentable. So so I'm trying to get it more. Okay. Now we are going to, okay, let's see the student info. We are going to say std dot. We are going to say, call the info student info, and we are going to also, we are also going to do it like this, student std dot info 2 again. So we are going to do it like this again, std dot persons info, sorry, person info. So then, so we want to, okay, run it now. Let's print, let's run it. Students object has no name attribute. Okay, now name attributes, I'm coming. So I've not run the parent class, so that's why I did not run. So I'm running it now, and this is the final results. So why, what is has no name attribute? So I'm running on it. So let me run it again. So let's see this. Okay. Let me see what's wrong. I think I have observed something, and let's see what's wrong. Okay, info name. Okay. Person's name attributes. this is not working here. Let me copy this and see. I'm coming. Let me rename this, okay? Person info. So we want to use this and I'll paste it here. What? Okay. I'll paste it here. Okay. And I'll run our first class and run the second. Let's see what's happening. Okay, look at it. Wow. The info, std info. I don't know what's really wrong. Okay, and the information is indicating an error concerning the student the person's info. So let's see this. Let me cut this out and run it. Let me cut it out and run it. Let's see. Okay, the student info is showing. Okay, oh, there's no attribute of the person's details. So look at it and why? Because we have the parent class. I've not called the parent class. Okay,
Okay.
I see why I was having an error. Okay, and we are going to create a person. We are going to say person and we are going to say person one, and we are going to put the Abu family, which is so. Are you with me? I hope you are with me.
Yeah.
So we are working on it. Person. So I have to declare the person's details, okay, before I can run it. I hope you understand.
Yeah.
So I'm going to use still this. Let me use Moses instead of Abu because remember we are working with parent class. So and we are going to put age of. I'm coming.
Okay, sir.
And student info, person's info. Okay. The student info and the person info. Okay, let's put age of 34, and gender, and let's say the gender should be male. Let's run this. Okay, now let's run this again.
Okay. Still again. It's still
Still,
giving.
see,
Say student object has no
student
attribute name.
object name.
Yeah. So are we not like
Student
focusing
object
on the name aspect, right? I'm seeing like they said it's the name that they're giving reference to.
You have no attribute name. So I'm coming.
From have you look at the parent set and see the name there?
Yeah, look at it. Look at the name. So let me rework on it again. Let me see what we do. Okay. So let's see. Students has no attributes. Student has no attribute name. So student has no attribute name. So let me focus on students. Look at so and I see that the student here is not reflecting. It's not reflecting. It's not reflecting the dictates of the person. And let's see this. I'm coming. So I will run it again. Let's see. So let me understand this code again. So let me view it. Let me view it and see where my errors coming out. Okay. Okay. Let's see. And I'm checking. I'm still checking to see why I was having an error. So okay, child. Okay, now let me cut this. Once I cut this and run it, I will get the details. So I'm only having the student ID and the student fee. So I want to get the name. Okay, I want to get the name, and I see that the name is not coming out. So let's see what is wrong. Okay, so let's see what's wrong. The name is not coming out, and the name was supposed to come out. Okay, see, and
And this have you not changed the name to Moses? Because I'm still seeing Abu.
yes, I'm coming.
Okay.
I'm coming. Let's say this. Oh, okay. And student, I'm talking about the student here, and student is not giving me what I want. Student. Okay, now let me change it to person to capital letter P because the color here is not it's not what I think I need. Let me change it to STD DT, okay. Or wow. If you see this color is different from others, so I think the issue is coming out from here, and which I want to sort out. Which I want to sort out. So I'm going to name it student. Okay.
Okay.
I don't know why it's dimming. The color is dimming. It's not giving me student. I'm going to call the person. Uh, so here's the error. Here is the error, and I'm not getting. Okay, let me call this outside here. Okay, I'm coming. So and I'm going to pass in the necessary details. Okay. Oh, okay. I don't really know what is wrong, but uh, I think the hero is just little hero, but though just little error, just little error, and the error is coming from the details. The error is coming here. Okay,
Okay.
I'm coming. Oh, I'm coming. Hey, in Python, you have to debug errors. This for you to know what you are doing. So we have gotten this now. This is the place we are having an issue, which is the person info, the person info. We are supposed to pass in the person info. Let's see. And okay, this person info appears not working. Okay, let me pass in this. Let me pass in this to see. I'm testing now. I'm testing this code. Let's do this person and yeah, we're going to call here person. Okay. You are going to pass a person, and we are going to pass in age and gender. No, let's call the person dots. Okay, person one dots, person info. I think this will give us our output, right? Yeah. Okay. Now this is the output. So let's see this. Okay, I wanted to inherit. This will work, but I wanted to inherit this. It's not giving me everything I want. It works like this. It works like this, but I wanted the student to automatically and add name to this. Okay. I hope you understand what I'm doing.
I'm following up. So
Okay. Did you see how I came out with these details?
yeah, I was seeing.
Okay, and I wanted to get everything directly from the student. From the student, I find out that it's not working. So, and I have to um, collect it from the. I have to call the parent class and pass in the parameter, which I run it and it gave us this result. So automatically, let me see if I remove this and it will still work. So let me see this if it will still work.
Okay.
It did not work.
Yeah, it's giving you error.
It did not work. I just see it's not working. It's giving me an error. So when I go back again, I run it. It will run.
Okay, yeah.
It will run. So I have to call. I have to pass in. I have to pass in the parameter of this here. Then I will call it. Okay.
Okay.
I have to pass in the parameter. I can. Okay. Let me see what's happened to this. You see, object name was not no attribute name. Okay, there's no attribute name in that std. So that's why I have to pass in a parameter and call it the variable name I declared it. So if you check it here, check, we have an std and there's no variable there. There's no attribute of uh, student it is. So this is it. This is what happens there. And I believe with this, you understand what we did.
Yeah, the only thing I just need to go over this video after the class, but it's not like
I want to ask,
I'm totally lost, but I just need to go over the video again for it to become more simple.
okay, no problem. So, no problem. Try to go over it and you will understand it better. Okay,
Okay.
you will understand it better. You will understand it better. Go over it again multiple times and you will understand it better. So, and I don't want you to get okay.
Okay.
So I want to test this again. I want to test it in other ways, okay?
Okay.
Which so I'm just testing it. So I'm testing it. Looking out the code very well and what happened here. Let's see what happened here. Okay. Do you know that our code was actually right? And just that I did not pass in these parameters.
Mhm. Which one you didn't pass?
Look at it. I did not pass in just these parameters. The code
Okay.
was actually right.
Okay.
Code was actually right, and I did not pass in the parameters. And when I call it, I pass in the parameters, automatically it has it now. When I run this and run this, it will give us the results. Okay, now let's see it again. Let me remove this. Okay,
Okay.
I'm working with this is how we are playing with this. Okay, and I want you to also understand what we are doing. We are just playing with it. So okay, now did you see what I did?
Yeah.
So look at it. Remember, I pass in the information of the person. Remember, now I
Yeah.
come here. I inherited the person's name and all, and I initialize just the students and the fees. Automatically, person has the name, which is has been inherited, the student ID and all. So when I pass in just the student ID and the fees, and I print out this. It gave us everything we need. So let's see this. It gave us everything we need. So look at it. And I think we have understand inheritance. We have understand the inheritance. So let's work on another example. Okay.
Okay.
Hello.
Yeah, I'm here.
Hope you are with me.
Yeah, I'm here.
So let's work with another example and see some examples. Some examples. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. On our last class, we talked about super, right? Super class.
Super class. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So we talk about super class when we test the super class, and we also look at the meaning. So let's create another example. Okay. So I'm going to copy this, the parent class, which is the person class. Let me copy this. This is an example. I will copy this and I will run it. Okay, I've already run it, and with the person's information, I'm going to, okay, this is where the work comes in. Yes, we want to use a super now. We have to use the super now. So, okay, now we are going to call the class